The goal of Swarm is to have the highest point total at the end of the game. There are bee cards, flower cards, and swarm cards. Give each player 3 bee cards, a 1B, a 2B, and a 3B. These bee cards are placed face up in front of the player as that player's beehive. Shuffle the remaining bee cards and place them face up in a draw pile. Shuffle the swarm cards and deal 3 face down to each player. Place the remaining swarm cards face down in a draw pile. Shuffle the flower cards and place them face down in a draw pile. Turn over the top 4 flower cards and place them face up in the middle of the playing area, spread out around the flower draw pile. During the game, you'll be using your bee cards to pollinate flower cards, collecting points for bee cards and flower cards that you acquire. Swarm cards represent different actions that players can take during the game, as shown on each card. After a swarm card is played, it is discarded for the remainder of the game. On your turn, you will draw 1 swarm card and 1 bee card from their respective draw piles. Next, you may play 1 swarm card if desired. Then you must play 2 bee cards from your beehive by placing them next to face-up flower cards. If applicable, the player collects any completely pollinated flower cards and the bee cards that were used to pollinate them, adding them to the bees in their beehive and placing the flower cards face up next to their beehive. In order to collect a flower card, the bee cards next to the flower must equal the exact numerical value shown on the flower card. Players may place bee cards next to a flower equaling less than the numerical value needed to collect it, but they cannot place a bee card next to a flower that makes the bee cards exceed the numerical value needed to collect it. A player may place their 2 bee cards next to the same flower card or split them up. If a player has only 1 bee card in their beehive, they play that card. And if a player can't add bees to any available cards, then their turn ends. A player must place all their bee cards required for their turn before collecting any of the flower cards. When a flower card is collected, it's replaced with one from the flower card draw pile. Play proceeds clockwise. Again, step 1 is to take the swarm card and bee card. Step 2 is to play 1 swarm card if desired. Step 3 is to play the 2 bee cards. And step 4 is to collect any flowers if applicable. When the last flower card has been collected, the round immediately ends. You can play 1 round or you can play multiple rounds. Just decide at the beginning how many rounds you want to play and keep track of the points. Points are earned from the combined numerical value on bee cards and flower cards. The player with the most points wins!